My name is Vincent Everts. I'm Trend Watcher, and I'm talking to Aalekh Sharan, and he's from the working at some part of government of India on blockchain projects. And he's coming to speak at our Blockchain Innovation Conference on June the 7th next week, and we're very excited to have you there. Can you first explain where you work? What kind of agency is that?
Hi, Vincent. I'm glad to be there next week also. I'm happy to do that. NITI Aayog is where I work. It stands for National Institution for Transforming India. Our job is to think about big ideas, about disruptive ideas on how we can fundamentally make the lives of our citizens better by implementing those big ideas. So we are the strategic policy think tank of the Government of India, and also a knowledge hub for the Government of India as well as the states.
Okay, and then a couple of big ideas have been implemented in India. I mean, you told me about the payment system. Everybody has an alias. You could just send somebody to the phone number, and it will arrive at the right. It will arrive at the right bank address, right?
We have a system. We have a system we are proud of. It's called the United Payments Interface, UPI. It is one of the world's best, in my view, payment systems. It is a mobile first payment system. It uses your mobile number as a primary address. And today on WhatsApp, even WhatsApp has integrated it in India. I can just attach money on my WhatsApp and send it to people. And this is bank-to-bank transfer, instantaneous.
And the interesting thing is this whole database of this directory is created by the government, but everybody is using it. The second one is identity. You now have a digital identity with your thumb, with your iris scan, even face recognition, a one-time passport. That is also done by the federal government, and that's also very widespread, right? So everybody has a digital identity.
We have a system we call AADHAAR, and actually that has been the foundation of a lot of our digital governance initiatives over the years. It's aimed at providing a universal identity to our citizens, and it has real-time APIs for biometrics. So we have more than 1 billion biometrics on this platform. In fact, AADHAAR can be used even for payments. So it is really a foundation. Identity is a foundation if you want to build.
So you're moving ahead hundreds of millions of citizens at the same time, and the percentage of transfer, the percentage of digital payments going up, and you're really moving in a huge scale, in a scale we cannot even imagine. You're making the country digital. Now, blockchain. You're going to talk about blockchain. Your Prime Minister is extremely enthusiastic. He always talks about it. He sees that as a way to transfer India. Can you give us some idea of why that is and how they do that?
So our leadership, both our Prime Minister as well as our leadership of NITI Aayog, Mr. Khan, they're very bullish on the use of technology to make the lives of our citizens better. And blockchain being an emerging technology, our job is to look at how we can use it for the purposes of a new phase of digital India, which is even more effective. How can we make our e-governance systems even less, with even fewer intermediaries, less red tape, more transparency? All of these,
like every government in the whole world is always saying that, okay? That it's lip service, but you have a very complex system, and you have states, and you have provinces, and you have 100 different languages, and an enormous amount of cultures. So, but everybody's saying that. So, but how is blockchain really? How is it supposed to help?
So blockchain can really help wherever government is doing any record keeping, or wherever there are multiple intermediaries involved, and you have a centralized system, wherever you have a centralized system today that's prone to attack, right? So I can take many examples. One example that I think can be transformational in our country would be our land record system. We have a huge number of pendency of cases due to land disputes. About 70% of our civil cases at the district level are only due to land. And blockchain is not a panacea. Blockchain alone cannot solve itself. It needs to be political, administrative will, along with the use and correct use of blockchain technology. So if you're able to create a digital twin of all land transactions, right, and you're able to clean the input data you feed it. So you're able to, in an area, carry out surveys and cleanse the existing land records, and you put it on blockchain, then ultimately the number of disputes you have will reduce drastically over time, because
that is one big idea. You're now doing proof of concept, and your blockchain group is working out and then building papers, etc. What are some other ideas which are really in the preparation phase?
So in the proof of concepts, you're doing things like pharmaceutical supply chain on blockchain. How can government enable that? Because we have fake drugs in the country, and if we had a supply chain that is able to track right from the manufacturer to the various intermediaries, and the customer can actually track that, and at the point of sale you can void that particular batch, then it'll make it more probable that what you actually get when you buy a drug is genuine.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But I think a fundamental thing that we're working on is India chain, which is we're thinking, we're thinking how we can have a blockchain fabric which is India specific, which has our existing work on identity and payments built into it intrinsically, and that can combine the scalability of private blockchains with the security of public blockchains in a hybrid model. And that's at an early stage, but we are getting our best startups and best minds in the government to think about this in a collaborative way and come up with a solution.
And so, this prime minister is really excited. He's putting his weight behind it. He's really, and that helps to move big, huge, old infrastructures. And you're the oldest democracy, one of the oldest. You're the biggest democracy on earth, and that really helps transferring that.
Yes, so our government is very bullish on the use of technology in governance, in governance, and that has been, our recent. You yourself mentioned Digital India, and our AADHAAR and UPI systems are examples of that.
Yeah.
And the key really is to get it executed properly now. So the ideas are there, the thinking is there. The buy-in is there from the top, as you yourself said.
Yeah, the proof of concepts are now all being built, and small proof of concepts are probably in our country huge ones. So we'd like to have more details on that when you come next week on Thursday.
Looking forward to meeting all of your participants at the conference, and the startups and government leaders that are there. And looking forward to discuss.
Looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much.
Yeah. See you there, Vincent.